All right, I'm here with Joshua Wide Open Weems, a couple weeks removed from a big fight against Tiago Bello.
Yeah.
How you feel?
Feeling good, man.
Yeah, so tell me, just before we get into that fight, how did you get into this crazy world, this awesome sport?
So, long story, but I'll kind of make it shorter. Me and Jason Cephalou, he actually trains out of American Top Team in Florida. We knew each other as kids in middle school. I think I was in 6th grade, he was in 8th grade. We got into a wrestling match type thing over a girl, it got broke up real quick. Well, he gets into mixed martial arts literally like 2 years later. I move away, and I find out Jason, we end up becoming good friends. I find out he ends up joining the gym, and I was like, I didn't even know there was a gym where we lived, and I visit back home, back to Mississippi where my people are. So we moved away to Florida. And when I came back, come to visit, and Jason was like, hey, come check out our gym. So I came in there, and I was like, I'm a hard-headed dude. I used to, get in little street fights or whatever. Calmed down a lot since I've had kids. But anyway, I come in, I'm like, man, Jason, you mind, can we step in the cage and, do some sparring? He spared me because he could have really hooked me up. And he was like, well, we're not going to spar, but we'll just do like wrestling. And boy, he picked me up and dumped me, showed me what jiu-jitsu and wrestling was like. Yeah. And man, I was addicted. And just right after that. So I got like a 1-week free trial, and which I was only in town for like 2 or 3 days because again, I was just visiting. But when I went back to Florida, man, I had that itch. I got a bag. I was, working on little things that they showed me. Well, 6 months later, I ended up moving my whole family back to Mississippi from Florida, and that's where my career started. I was 18, I had a little girl, I was 2 years old. I think I was 17 when I started training, but I had my first fight 6 months later, turned 18. And yeah, man, my journey began right then. I was hooked, man. So, and I've been with the same team ever since. I moved away. I had 5 amateur fights with that team. I moved away back to Florida. So we did a lot of back and forth jumping. Went back to Florida because that's where her mom and my mom lives now, and my wife's mom. So we moved back there, and I quit fighting for 2 years because I was in it's called Santa Rosa Beach. It's pretty close to Destin and Panama City. There was no real MMA gyms there, just like jiu-jitsu. And Carlos Diaz over at Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, he taught me a bunch. I went there and did some jiu-jitsu, but didn't have a fight team per se. And as you know, being a fan of the sport, you want to have a team behind you. Yeah. And so I took that time to just really, work on my family, work on some jiu-jitsu, and I stayed running, hitting the bag. Actually, the only time I've ever played a video game, I played UFC online. I think I had my 2-year layoff was actually, it was not a layoff, it was a video game. That's how I played.
Still honing the skills.
Yeah, I was like, if I took an L, I was like, dang it, all right, I got to get off online mode. I got to work on some stuff. But anyway, so I ended up moving back to Mississippi 2 years later. So I had a fight against Alan Belcher's guy, Trent Fairley. And man, that was like my way of showing my wife, like, look, I'm serious about this. I can really make a career out of this. And, right then, after that, I fought Christian O'Con.
I'm sure there's a lot of doubt there in the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Of course. I'm sure she, in her head, she loves the fact that her husband is a fighter. But then again, it's like she knows I'm not making much money, or none at the time because I was an amateur. And it was just one of those things where, she felt more comfortable being at home with her mom too. And, at least being able to go visit her closer, it's a 6-hour drive, so, but anyway, it ended up, we moved back, and I had a couple other fights, and it just, just the hunger, as I took my first losses, I was about to say, like Christian O'Con, so it lit a fire into me because I lost to a wrestler, and I don't know, I had good jiu-jitsu, and as you can see in the video, I'm like holding him into me, not using jiu-jitsu. So it was a real learning curve to never like pull your opponent into you, actually, unless you're hurt, try to build a frame and, use the space to actually be able to attack your submissions. And that's what I've done throughout my career now. And I think I learned that in that first loss is, you got offensive. Exactly. You have to build your frames. You have to start creating space and attacking. And so, yeah, man, I'm, my family's in full support, my mom, my dad. Of course, my wife, my kids. My kids come to all my fights. If they can't come, they're watching on TV.
That's awesome.
So yeah, man, I got a huge, all my fans and friends. Like it's crazy the sport I have, and I think that's my biggest, mental ease going into these fights. These past couple ones, at least, I've like learned that no matter win or lose, like go out there and fight hard, and your people are gonna love you no matter what. So.
Are your kids at the age kind of where they know like what you do?
Yeah, I would say definitely my daughter. My son probably is still. He just turned 6, so he's probably still kind of wrapping his head around that I'm actually trying to be on TV and fight for a living. But he does think it's cool, and he's always trying to punch and kick stuff. He's definitely. We got him in our gym, but he don't like jiu-jitsu that much. He'll roll all day. He just don't like to do the technical version.
Right.
He don't like to drill. So.
And they embrace it. They don't. You don't try to shield them away from it or anything.
No, I explained to him. We'll watch fights together on weekends. And I'll be going for somebody. Maybe even have trained with that person, and they might lose. And I explained to him, look, it's 1 versus 1. This is not a team sport. Somebody's got to lose. You
Right.
know? And I think they understand that. At least my daughter does, and my son will soon understand that. Yeah. So
were you into fighting, boxing, MMA, anything at all before you started training?
My dad, he used to, like back when Chuck Liddell fought, like when he was first starting out, like he would just be on the TV, and I didn't really pay attention like that, but I always thought it was pretty cool. We were into. All the way up until we were like maybe 12. I know it's pretty lame, but we watched like WWE wrestling, and so me and my brother always wrestled hard.
That's fun. That's awesome.
Yeah. We always wrestled real hard, and so we I had a natural toughness because I had an older brother, that always kept me tough. And then I always felt like I had something to prove. I was a small kid, and my brother, he was always known to be a good fighter, so I wanted to be known as a good fighter too, so I always felt like I had something to prove. So I was a knucklehead. I fought a bunch, stuff like that. I definitely calmed down when I had my kids. I had my daughter when I was 15. I turned 16 a couple months later, so I learned to calm down pretty early.
Right. So throughout your life coming into, you had a few more professional fights and everything, you had a 1 Contender Series fight with the UFC. What was it like getting to that point, knowing that like this was a chance to really break out and get the career moving a lot faster? What was that getting to that point kind of like?
It was pretty surreal because we got the call on a 10-day. It was like maybe 12 days notice. It was definitely a life-changing opportunity. And we took the most of it, man. I was confident. I felt really good. I knew that it could change my family's future. I think, just part of why we love the sport so much. You can make a small mistake, and that can cost you. But as you know, just fueled the fire and worked on tightening my guard. When my back gets against the wall, definitely keep a tighter shell. They shoot for the legs, getting the hips a little more square so I can start defending the takedowns. Just working little things that I think is going to help me in the higher level fights, going and traveling and training with higher level, guys in my weight class, guys that are actually already in the UFC, fighting for Bellator, things like that. It was a big eye opener as far as seeing, because they had actually, Contender Series fights on Tuesday. They had the UFC Fight Night with Kevin Holland. It was actually the fight Thiago Santos versus Johnny Walker.
Okay.
So it was that week, and they were all at the same hotel as us. So it was a real, you got to meet these guys, see these guys, and see that, man, they were in your shoes at one time, man. You just got to continue to grind and, try to work on the holes in your game and come back and prove that you belong here. And,
I'm sure that builds a lot of confidence.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think it did that. It showed that when my fight with Thiago, I didn't make weight for Contender Series, but that was on a miscommunication level about the time. I was told I could continue to cut after my face-off, but I needed to be at 2 pounds under and I was at 2.8. So it was a little miscommunication. I've never
Right.
missed weight ever in my life, and I made weight with Tiago Bello. I came out there, I performed against, you know, a good fighter, and I think that can get me that call back to Contender Series,
Right.
or a short notice call to the UFC. And we talked with my manager Jason House. Like I'm cool with Bellator. I'm cool with fighting for ONE FC. None of that. I wish PFL had a bantamweight division. That'd be cool
Yeah.
to fight for $1 million contract.
Yeah. I bet.
But yeah, man, I'm just enjoying the journey as it's coming to me, and I'm just gonna work. I'm only 28. I'm gonna just continue to work on getting better, and that's it, dude. Just if I get that call, that'll be great. I think I will. I'm not gonna take too much time off. If I don't get that call within the next 3 to 4 months, I'll probably try to take
Stay
another
active.
fight. Yeah. But for now, I'm just gonna continue to work on my wrestling defense, and just any little holes I got in my game. Mainly octagon control, not letting my back get pressed against the fence. So yeah, just keep on working at it, man. That's it.
How's that been for you here in Mississippi, do you feel? Like just your training experience, your experience getting fights. You had a big fight, as you're saying, with Tiago Bello with a B2 fighting series a couple weeks ago. Have you found it difficult being here to kind of get that level of competition?
Well, we can always travel out, but
Right.
whenever a awesome promotion like B2 offers to come to your hometown, you jump on that. I do think it would be harder to continue to fight in Mississippi. Good guys in Mississippi, because they're only going to pay so much for somebody to travel out here to fight, and especially in somebody's hometown. So I told my coach years ago, I don't want to continue to be the hometown hero. I would like to go out and beat somebody in their hometown, fight other guys, other places, get my name out there. So I'm cool with traveling and stuff like that too. The main thing is getting my name out there and getting paid for it. So yeah.
What's something moving forward from this point?
Man, just continuing to work on my game, and I think just getting that call, I think we're going to get the call soon, and I can put Mississippi on the map. I think with knowing, people might say, if I get this UFC short notice call, like, oh man, it's his debut. Man, no, it's not. My debut was the Contender Series, and I think I got that first one out the way. And yeah, it's going to be different with fans going crazy. I embrace that, man. My town goes crazy when they see me fight, and I channel it all in. It's just me and you in there, and I definitely I can hear the crowd whenever things don't go my way. I can hear it, and it fuels me to do the right things, And then when I do things the right way, and the crowd goes wild, I know, okay, this is what I love, So we're ultimately performers and entertainers. Of course, we want to get the win, but as long as we go out there and we don't break under pressure, and I don't think that's what I do. I wasn't done at the Contender Series. People, people will say, whatever, but I definitely wasn't done. The shot landed clean, but I've been hurt by Jewel Scott with a half and half record. Throws nothing but power shots. I got hurt by him way worse, came back and won the fight, But it's not up to, I got to show the ref something, and that's happened to me before. So I've got to correct that and make sure that I reach out, try to tie them up quicker. But definitely, I think what I was getting to is just don't crack under pressure, man. Go out there and fight hard, and your people are going to love you, man. And that's what I love about the sport and my fans and all this journey, man. Love it.
What do you say to those people that see you make it to the Contender Series, make it to that big league fight, and then you lose? They think this is just another face coming through. We're not going to see him again. What do you say to those doubters?
Man, just remember the name. I don't even think, I don't think I have. I think anybody there that matters, well, no, I belong there. I looked fine until I got caught with that punch. To the people who look from the outside, I don't really have anything to say from them. Like, you got to have those people, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of part of the sport. But yeah, I think anybody who, like, as far as like ESPN people, the Contender people, the UFC people, I think they'd love to see me back out there. I mean, you watch any of my fights, I'm always come to fight. And same thing for the Fernie Garcia fight at the Contender Series. I came to fight, you know, knocked him down with a leg kick, you know, land a couple right hands. You know, it was a short fight, but I didn't look out of place. And I don't think you'll ever see me look out of place. So I think they'll be excited to see the Weems name come back through there, and they don't have to be excited. I'm going to excite them whenever I get in there and that bell rings. So.
Right.
Yep.
What moving for the rest of your career, wherever you end up, whether it's next, whether it's Bellator, UFC, anything, what do you want to go in and kind of show the world that you're capable of?
Man, just creativity, man. I pride myself on being creative, move fast, heart, because I show that every day with the guys I train with, you know. Show it in the fights. I haven't really had to show that. I normally either finish quick or end up getting caught, you know. Haven't gotten to show my heart. So I want to be able to, you know, people know that I'm a dog. I can fight hard, long fights. I have so much respect for those, you know, high-level guys like, you know, freaking, you can name it, Edson Barbosa, freaking, you know, just those guys that just, you know, weathered the storm, just taking beatings and, you know, just come back and shown that their character of coming back in a fight, whether they lose that fight or not, just showing their character and coming back. Yeah,
The less
that's
you get
huge.
hit, though, the better.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I want to be known as that guy that can be the mongoose, hit and not be hit, counter and be first, of course. But I also want to be known as that guy who always comes to fight, always brings that heart, that creativity. Yeah, so just, you know, just being the guy I pride myself on, which is you know, creativity, cardio machine, you know, got heart and a good fighter IQ.
I think you showed that, especially in this last Thiago Bello fight. You know, to see, I think a lot of people were expecting you to go out there, strike with him, get a knockout, probably. But to see him take you down a couple times, but then to throw up such a quick submission, I think that really showcased, you know, that creativity, that ability to think quick. Have you found that always in your fights when you get into those tough spots? I have to use something that they might not be expecting.
Yeah, muscle memory, man. That's what kicks in, and yeah, it happens often. I train, you know, I think it's just because of our training. We train so much, you know, situational things, and I think that helps me in my fights for sure. And you know, like one of my coaches, Jonathan Jackson, he told me, you know, on the walkout, he just say, hey, look, man. Just like when the punch lands in the fight, man, don't let that bother you. If this guy comes out here and gets you down, don't let that bother you, you know? And you could see that in my face. He took me down the first time I got up to my feet. He took my back, hand fought. I went to attack the Kimura. That's when he shucked me, threw me onto my face. So that's when I said, okay, let's play some jiu-jitsu. I didn't let that faze me, and a lot of guys might have panicked there. Really, those words of my coach came into play, like, hey, part of the sport, you know. He landed those takedowns. Don't let it, you know, make a mistake. Do the right thing, you know, and that's what I did. I turned to my back, played my, you know, he had half guard for a second. I got my half guard, then I started to attack. And he made that mistake, and I capitalized. But I think those wise words of my coaching for sure helped me out. You know, stay calm, knowing that, you know, hey, look, it's just part of it. Because I know my brother had already he lost that night, and as crazy as it is, when I got taken down, that's what thought came into my mind. Do my fans think I'm going to lose too? Like, this is going to be a night of the Weems losing, in which they would have loved us no matter what. But that's crazy. That comes in my head while I'm still doing my technical jiu-jitsu.
Right.
It's crazy. It all happens in such short time. But yeah, I let all that come through my head, and it just motivated me to do the right things, man. And we capitalized on it. It was awesome.
Back in the gym already?
Oh yeah. Well, I was in the gym that next Monday, and then.
Wow.
You know, just to see all the guys, you know, we definitely trained, and we trained through the week, but I had this past week off. We went to Memphis, did a little spring break with the kids, got to go have some fun, and then, you know, we ended the weekend actually at an MMA event. I got offered to help set up the SFC cage and help break down the cage, and they were going to let, you know, basically let my family in for free. They took care of us, so shout out to SFC, Summit
awesome.
Fighting Championships. Jamie Houston and Matt Weeble, yeah, they put on a good show right in Tupelo, and it was close to Memphis, so we just made it a weekend, and the kids had a good time watching the fights and stuff, and we got home yesterday afternoon, and today I'm back to the grind. We're going to definitely, we're hoping to get that call soon, so I want to be in shape. I want to get my weight down, which weight's fine. Just kind of, you know, stay in shape and stay ready for that call, man, so yeah.
Awesome. Well, Josh, look forward to what's next for you. Excited. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, man, if you don't mind, I'm going to give a shout out to all my sponsors. Focus Fit in Pearl, it's where we lift all our weights, and we get our little team training in. And they have a little MMA gym upstairs. Brian McGuire runs. I do a lot of jiu-jitsu and bag work there. I'd like to, my home gym, Black Sails MMA, with James Horn and Johnny Little, they run that. Jonathan Jackson. They helped me get ready for all my fights, my whole team there. We also train at Primal MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. It's a cross affiliate gym. Dustin DePuma and Caleb Harris, pro fighters as well, they run that gym. And I got Nick Jones for Grapple MMA. That's actually right here in Flowood. And they teach me so much there. So also got a mobile barber, Raymond Carver, Iconic Barber Lounge. Go follow him. He just, man, pulls right up to you, cuts you up. He's the man. Clayton Pitts, I saw him this morning, Norville Chiropractic Clinic. He's the man. Also known as Prehab Clinic. They do it all there. They're awesome. Jeremy Street, they have a business up in Collinsville, Mississippi. It's called CERT, Specialized Emergency Response Training. They support me and always looking out. And then my dad, Brian, they call him Brian Woodcarver. He's always supporting me. Got all kind of cool stuff on Facebook, so go follow him, Brian Woodcarver. But yeah, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm Wide Open Weems 12, trying to get better at that. My social media girl's been really helping me out, Kiana Henry, so I appreciate that. I did forget one. My buddy Wes Hawkins. He owns a glass business right here in Jackson, Mississippi. One of my main ones. Had it written down and everything.
You can't leave him out.
Yeah, cannot leave him out. Yeah, Glass Plus LLC. But yeah, go follow them guys, and I appreciate all their support, because without them, you know, we don't make much money as fighters. So without them, I really couldn't do what I'm doing. So I appreciate all of that.
Well, go follow all of them. Go follow Josh, and we look forward to your next fight.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Evan.